what anxiety does is it makes it so that you are always fighting with the fight and the flight system. And I picked the young man because I've had kids who were very anxious, and what they did was freeze. That was their coping mechanism. And they would actually just shut down.
Yeah.
I noticed this, a young man, I was evaluating him, and it was high stakes because he wanted accommodations. But he just stopped. And his mother had to take him home and then bring him back. And then we had to do it in shorter segments because at some point the anxiety overwhelmed him, and he just stopped. Stopped. Some kids that will, with attention problems and anxiety, they will start moving around and get themselves in a lot of trouble because they won't sit still. Yeah. Right. And the younger kids, you see that much more.
Okay.
The dropping the pencil and then crawling around trying to get it back up. And all it means is, I don't think I can do this. Or, right.
So it's they're trying to communicate something, but they don't have the words or the idea of what actually is bothering them.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah. And as they get older, you see the girl in the middle, it just turns into something where you wouldn't call her fidgety, but she is suffering nevertheless. Just really
internalizing it and trying to hide it, and
that's a really good word.
Using socially acceptable, I guess you would say, ways of dealing with that anxiety, but still, yes, it's there.
And she's biting her nails, and a lot of times you will see kids also then picking at their hair or fooling around with their hair. But they don't want to call any attention to themselves.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And they go through that, and then you get to the third person's point, where I had a young lady who just very, very slow processor, but she had turned out with headaches, migraines, to the point where she couldn't go to school a lot of the time. Her stomach, they thought she had an ulcer. They thought she was back and forth to the doctor all the time. And now that she's gotten, and she was a skin picker also, but now we've worked together for quite some time, and all of those things have gone away. And she's another one, extremely bright, and really fought accepting who she was, and the fact that this is always going to be something to work on.
Yeah.
But she overcame that. When I talked to her yesterday, she had just finished calling her college. She's going to FSU next year, and making sure she had the right accommodations. And see, that's a victory.
Right.
A lot of your kids are so anxious that they won't make the phone call.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and then, we just say they're being lazy or lots of other things, and there's these underlying issues that are there, and we actually exasperate it and make them more anxious when we do that.
Right. The other signs are, tearing up very easily, crying very easily, getting very easily frustrated, and they get frustrated, but then they refuse to leave the task. They won't take the break.
Right. Yeah.
Because I have to keep working.
Because that internal bar they've set for themselves, like you were talking about earlier.